Hi, folks. A request from those of you who are following me and are listening to my opinions and watching these videos. I would highly appreciate it if you could also subscribe to my YouTube channel that I usually put a link at the bottom. I need to get to the 500 number to make it sustainable. And it would be really great if you could subscribe. Obviously, more than 500 is wonderful, but to get to that critical 500, that would be superb. One of my motivations for doing both the Facebook and starting a YouTube channel, on YouTube, you can archive everything in one place. And I feel that the generation coming after us, the grandchildren, the grandnephews and nieces, will have like a daily diary of our times. And obviously, it's my opinion and my lens on it, but all in one place, should they choose to listen and to understand what were the days that we were living through, what were we seeing. And because I do think we are in a unique time. I'm sure every generation thinks it's in a unique time, but at least this will give them an archive and almost like a daily diary of these times. So that's been the motivation, and I would really appreciate it if you could just take the time to subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. So it is the middle of the day, and Brent crude oil has just crossed $118. This is a real crisis. This is now the kind of inflation that countries are not going to be able to sustain. And people are really, everyday lives are going to be impacted in the most terrible way. And the reason why we're seeing the shoot up of these prices today is because of Donald Trump's posting of burning villages, burning mountains behind him. That imagery and those words of threat again have caused oil prices to shoot up. Make no mistake. There is a whole other crisis that has emerged, and that is the fact that humanitarian aid is not moving. Dubai is a big supply hub for many, many humanitarian organizations. And now NGOs, humanitarian organizations, are requesting that a humanitarian corridor be created through the Strait of Hormuz to allow critical aid to get to especially the Africa region, especially the Sudan, which is the largest humanitarian crisis in the world. And once again, the UAE is very much involved in that crisis by supporting the RSF and the genocide of the RSF. Millions are displaced and in need of urgent humanitarian aid. Dubai is a huge supply center. What an irony. But a humanitarian corridor is the right thing to do. And a neutral country like Pakistan can definitely offer to escort humanitarian cargoes. Why not? Why not? Think about that. It can negotiate with both the US and with Iran to escort this cargo. It is an urgent need. Millions of people are not getting essential medicines, vaccinations, food, nutrition. This is a huge crisis beyond just the affordability crisis for people around the world. This is life and death for millions of people. So it is the right thing to do that a humanitarian corridor be created. Another piece of news that is extremely worrisome is from Médecins Sans Frontières and their latest report coming out of Gaza, that Israel is using water as a way to punish people in Gaza. clean water and access to clean water is being weaponized. Water facilities are being bombed. People queuing up for water are being struck. Tankers providing water are being bombed. This is another weapon in the ongoing genocide in Gaza. Just another weapon. Depriving people of clean water is killing them. As the weather gets hotter, can you imagine what the temperatures will be like and what the lack of water will do to those who have survived the genocide thus far? Let us talk about the EU again. They are more concerned about Ukrainian wheat being bought by Israel, shipped by Russia, than lives of Palestinians, lives of the Lebanese. And they definitely don't give a damn about Iranian lives. Yes, Kaya Kallas is threatening sanctions on Israel because of the wheat shipments by Russia, Ukrainian wheat shipments. But she doesn't have a single word to say about what human rights organizations have been reporting for almost 3 years. And now MSF is reporting that water deprivation is the latest tool in the ongoing genocide. But the European Union leadership remains unmoved by that. How do you explain that? Many news organizations are reporting that Pakistan has opened 6 or 7 new corridors, land corridors to Iran, where cargo coming into 2 Pakistani ports, Karachi and Gwadar, that cargo is being loaded onto trucks and being driven across the borders into Iran. So I would assume that's food aid going in and maybe some medical supplies, but essentials. But the Pakistani ports are now seeing at least 8 to 10x more activity as countries have their ships dock at these ports, and these ports are being used more and more. The issue really is on capacity, because they've built capacity for a certain amount of traffic, but that traffic has increased. Pakistan has not confirmed these land corridors into Iran, but it makes abundant sense since there's a 500 plus mile border with Iran. But, we'll talk more about it if there is confirmation on the Pakistan side, but there's many outlets that are reporting that that is the case, and it's legal because Pakistan has an agreement. There is a trade agreement with Iran, an agreement of transporting goods to Iran via several corridors. So there is that. But again, there'll be more to talk about on that. Once again, Brent crude is at 118, and it's only going to get worse.